Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy. Welcome readers, welcome to the Grassroots Footy Show. Of course, I'm your host, Tommy Javor, with co-host, the footy chick, Lisa Wright.
Yes, and we're finals round 1 for Division 2 down, and we're in the last round, round 18 for, of course, Division 1 this week.
Yes, I said it last week, Grassroots is going to get more and more exciting every week because it's finals football time. And
Yay.
apart from Division 1, and we find ourselves at a Division 1 club tonight, a newly renovated Division 1 club, following on from Rosewater last week. We're at the Gazer Football Club, who are they're finally back at Clemsey Oval doing their training here, and looks magnificent, doesn't it, Lisa?
Yeah, the oval looks absolutely gorgeous, and we'll go out there and take a look at it later on. And
anything else tickle your fancy out there, Lise?
Hi, Brett Hines.
Few six-packs out there, and we're not talking about of the West End variety.
Hello. Anywho, let's not waste any more time and things that impressed us.
Yes.
But perhaps didn't impress the teams involved over the weekend.
Well, we probably won't go into Division 1 too much. They've still got a round to go, so things are still up in the air. Basically, it's still a race in 6 though. Gazer, Goodwood and Ross Trevor fighting for those final 2 positions.
Yeah,
the 3 teams.
they sure are, but Ross Trevor, well, obviously if Ross Trevor don't win this week, they are out.
Yes, they are, yeah, and yes, they're relying on other results. But in Division 2 downwards, it is settled now. We know that as of Saturday afternoon, 35 of those, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 of those teams have now had their Mad Monday. And,
then you've got Division 8.
And 35 of those teams
Right.
have had their Mad Monday, as well as the C-grade divisions. And there is only 5 that did manage to survive in each division.
Absolutely, and just before we talk about those, I went out to...
Where'd you go?
Adelaide Airport Stadium. And
great stadium.
Well, no, it is a good stadium, and got a bit of footage here from Port District versus Prince Alfred Old Collegians. Fantastic. Really,
Friday night game?
Yeah, Friday night game. Absolutely fantastic game of football. Went down to the wire with a kick after the siren, which unfortunately didn't make it for the Port District boys. Meaning PAC got the chockies there, and in the club rooms after the match, Peter Walsh was announced the club coach for season 2013.
Peter, of course, already he's the coach of Prince Alfred, so contract renewed.
And he played.
He did play.
He did play.
Now,
he lied.
Yes,
he lied.
earlier this year I said I had a feeling,
He lied.
and yeah, well they've done well. They've stayed up in Division 2,
Did
and
right too.
yeah, they've ended up with the end of season. They're 8 and 10, so it's not a bad result, is it?
No, not at all.
With a lot of injuries they had, so yes. I guess the final 5 in Division 2, interesting to see. Flinders Park and Portland, of course, they were part of that thriller on Anzac Day, and they've both managed to sneak into the 5 with their 10-8, so they've done well. Actually, it wasn't as close as we thought in the end in Division 2, with Modbury finishing 6th.
No, and they looked like they were obviously going to hang on with that extra half a game, but unfortunately just a few games didn't go their way in the latter part of the season, and unfortunately they've now missed out on the 5.
Yep, I guess when you look at Division 3, Lisa, if we're going to move to the Village Division 3.
Yes, we can do that.
A couple of big upsets in round 18. CBC probably thought if they had a win, and they did against Salisbury, they would have survived, but it was a unfortunate day for the Dolphins, Darren Jarman's Dolphins, as they dropped down to Division 4 next year, courtesy of Pembroke knocking off finalist Mitcham by 90 points.
Yeah, I know, and that was very, very surprising, that result. Also very surprising to see Andrew Jarman playing in the last game of the round. Now, was that a last-ditch effort to, I guess, get them to win for them to avoid the relegation?
Yes, I believe also Heath Uni played, and I was told Darren Jarman was going to play. I'm not sure if that eventuated or not.
No, I'm really not sure myself, to tell you the truth.
Perhaps we should discuss these things.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I know. Otherwise, everything else probably went pretty much to plan, maybe except for the fact that I guess your game could have gone either way.
Okay.
In terms of, well, the Smosh versus PNU game.
Every game is my game, Lisa. I'm a broadcast journalist, and all things are considered equal. Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's right. You're not You're not commenting on Division 3.
I am not much, no.
Anyway.
Division 4, also a big upset in Plimpton, knocking off Salisbury West. You'd have to wonder, perhaps, was Salisbury West just preparing themselves for the following week, knowing that their position couldn't change on the ladder?
News is, and I haven't had this confirmed, but Dylan Kohler, one of their better players, actually did not play on Saturday and will not play during finals.
Interesting. Any reason, particular reason? Just doesn't feel like it?
Has left the club.
Has left the club.
Has left the club.
That is interesting news indeed.
And I need to get that confirmed, so I do apologise, Salisbury West, if that's actually not the case. But look, I think Salisbury or Plimpton are a bit of a bogey side for Salisbury West. Obviously, after the grand final win they had against them last year, so I don't know, it could have been a bit of that rivalry.
Yep.
Unfortunately for Plimpton, it didn't do them any good. Just missing out by a game there on the 5.
Yes. Speaking of 5s, Division 5, interesting to see Kenilworth, 8 goals, 22, got done by 2 points. I guess if you're going to kick like that, you deserve to. And also creates an interesting matchup. They'll go right back to where they were this Saturday and they'll play Glenunga again. As
we do, yeah. We were actually getting quarter scores of that game. The game as a whole, 17 goals, 40 was kicked. So, it would have been a very interesting game of football to watch, let's put it that way. We lost by a goal, but I think we've never been so happy to do so because Glenunga winning meant we kept 3rd spot.
And again, in an exact same scenario, you'll head to Adelaide Lutheran to play Adelaide Lutheran.
Yes, we will. Yes,
right,
we will.
Unusual. But well done to a team. We lifted them,
yes,
we got them up, the Rosewater Doggies, we got some bark in their bite and all that kind of stuff, and they knocked off Westminster. Huge win for Brad. Brad Horsell led the boys with 5 goals himself, and I tell you what, those new club rooms, I'm surprised they didn't get knocked down by the time they finished celebrating.
No, let's just say he was a very, 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 very happy man after the game. Congratulations, Bradley, and all the best to the Rosewater Doggies next year.
Yes, well done. I'm sure their season will be much better than this year. How do you operate a footy club out of a shipping container? Well,
that's right. And again, as I said, now that we go into, I guess, part 2 of our series of homeless clubs for season 2012, and we'll of course go find out how the Gazer Football Club managed to do so as well.
And I've been getting updates all year. There should be some very interesting things said about that. So you might have some good editing to do tonight.
Division 6.
Yes.
Oh, Stephen Zweck, heartbreak, absolute heartbreak, missing out on finals by 0.6%.
Yep, Zwicky and the boys, they had that mid to late season run where they looked like they were the form team of the competition, and unfortunately they've missed out. How do you miss out? Not just Zwicky, but what about your mate Dutchy? Oh, my mate too. Both of them 10 and 8, 10 wins for the year and missing finals. That is just, it's unfair.
Yeah, no, football can be a cruel game sometimes, Java. So, and that's really proven itself in Division 6 this year, as it did in Division 5 last year.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. And in Division 7, well, it was pretty much business as usual. I think no major surprises for me there. Lukey McDonald, interesting one, and Nate kicking 18 between them. So if a McDonald to kick 100 this year, it'll be in finals.
Yes, it will. With any luck to them, of course. But that won't be their main priority now that the finals race is on. Yes,
and we'll be discussing quite a few. Like we said, Division 2 to Div 7 finals are all happening this week.
They sure are.
Yeah, and I believe the only undefeated team in Amateur League lost on the weekend as well. Did you hear about that one?
I did roughly hear something. In fact, you know what? Mr. Martin P. Smith himself messaged me to tell me.
Did he really?
Now, I'm very surprised he still has my number after all of these years.
That is quite interesting.
Very, very interesting indeed. So, look, congratulations, Martin. And despite what we say, we love giving each other a bit of a crack on here. But sincerely, all the best for the finals, mate. If you've knocked over the top team or the team to beat, I'm sure you can go on and do that in the final series.
Well, as long as his gun forward keeps firing, they'll be fine.
Who's that? Oh, Clompy, right. Yeah, well done, Clompy.
Clompy didn't play. We somehow managed to win. But let's not talk about C4. But a lot of exciting things now. Like we said, we're at the Gazer Footy Club, and there's so many stars to meet. Going to meet, of course, David Granger's son, Nathan Granger. That should be fun.
No, it's not.
We can only ask. We can only ask.
Actually, I never thought about that.
Yes, and the Lions Club are assembling outside. We are in there. They've got this room booked, so we need to wind it up now. Enjoy the show from the Gazer Footy Club.
Yes.
Bette Midler once sung, "I want to fly higher than an eagle." But that curly-haired ranger didn't fly as high as the Gazer Eagles in 2011, taking all before them and winning the premiership. The question is now, after a challenging season, can the Gazer Eagles pick up the slack and go back-to-back? Will the Eagles fly high, or in a week or two, will their season soon die? We're going to speak to all the stars of Gazer. We're going to speak to Nathan Granger. I'm sure we'll have a word with Chris Radetti, the president, Bob Napier. We'll try and get Danny the barman. Maybe even big Jack Capel, you might be able to see him in the background there. But one thing's for sure, in the new facilities of Gazer, you're in for a great night, Rooters. Well, each week, Rooters, we get a hold of the coach, except in Modbury's case. We get a hold of the coach, and this week the coach of the Gazer Footy Club, not just this week, but this year and last year, of course, is Nathan Granger. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you for having us. And first thing I want to ask you is, how was it growing up with David Granger as your dad?
No relation at all. I've got an I in my name, and, but my grandfather did play for Port Adelaide, but he was a Mayfield, so...
Okay, you can see we really do our research. Now, look, one new addition to the club that I'm sure you're happy to show off is this little baby right here. It's the Division 1 Premiership Trophy from 2011. You haven't been on the show since you won it, so tell us a little bit about that night, because I was here and I remember a bit of it.
Yeah, it was a big night. It's probably the biggest night we had at the club for a couple of years, and it's good to have a little bit of success. And Shocks really took it to us in the grand final. They probably deserved to win the game, and we were very, very lucky, I reckon, to take the points in the end. But it would have been nice to watch the game instead of coaching in it, because I reckon I almost had a heart attack in the last few minutes. It was a very tight game. So.
I had to have a couple of West End just to calm me down that day.
I had a few that night too. So.
I remember. Look, speaking of Shock, there's so many questions I want to ask you. Are you surprised that Shock have won the Wooden Spoon this year?
Yeah, it's disappointing for the competition. Look, they got absolutely destroyed by country leagues this year. They had some really quality players, and you know it's disappointing for them. The fact they don't pay anyone, you know, must make it really hard. They are a quality side, and they'll have some great kids if they can retain those kids and they come through. Jack Horan's done a good job, and obviously the Floriani connections and the. You know, they were lucky to get a few kids back from Glenelg over a few years, but once again, when the state competition's on for the under-18s, they take a few of them back, and you know they've probably been pilfered again. So, yep. But yeah, very unlucky, and it's disappointing, as I said. So. Yep.
Speaking of, I know we've talked a lot with the president, Bob Napier, and others about the ground development. So we're not going to go into the ground development too much and how it's affected you, but obviously it's created some challenges. But you're still in the mix. Destiny in your own hands. Basically, you win this week, you play finals.
Yeah, look, we don't want to rely on Henley beating Ross Trevor, and look, Jeps Cross can stay in if they beat us, and I think there's some percentage issues as well. But look, at the end of the day, you're right. It's up to us. It's our destiny. If we want to stay in the game, we've got to play some really good footy, and you know we've been pretty good the last week and 2 weeks before that, but I think the bye, you know, wasn't good for us. I think we should have just kept playing. I thought we were up and about when that was before that game. So.
But a fantastic result last week against St Peter's.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest to everyone. They had a couple of key players out, but I think. You know, we had a lot more to lose than them, and you know, look, there was some terrific performances from our players, and you know, we're starting to get a few players back, which has made it easier. And look, our you know, our run and carry, our game with Josh Bembo was unlucky to play in the Bees last week, which is yeah, surprising.
Didn't even know that. Big recruit to the club as well.
Yeah, look, it was he came back from 6 or 7 weeks off, and I think we rushed him back in a little bit quickly, but hopefully we can get him up and going. He's a good kid, and you know he can play some footy, and you know there's no doubt we brought him here to play A grade, so you know he'll retain that spot at some stage. So.
All right, it's a nice little segue there. I haven't used that word in a couple of weeks. 2 better players throughout the year. Who else has stood up this year? I've noticed Chris Radetti's name in the paper a lot, and he tells me that he's been fantastic. Anyone else?
Yeah, look, Chris has been great and showed some real good leadership when Kerr and Wags has been out. Look, Trevor Bouse has had a really good year along with John Boxer. Look, you know, everyone else has probably had an up and down season. David Loker's had moments of you know, magic and that, and look, Brett Hines kicked 9-goal-4 on the weekend, which is good for his confidence to get back in there. So
yeah, he seems like he's lacking a bit of confidence. The big fella.
The big fella, yeah, he's about 100 kilos of muscle in that at the moment. And he's looking pretty good. I'm sure the ladies think that as well.
You can probably stop nodding that hard, camera lady. Now, look, it's nice again. You mentioned Johnny Box. I was asked to do my medal tips for the year, or just in round 17, makes it tough. But I've actually tipped Johnny Box. He's a bit of a standout, umpire's favourite. Who from other teams could possibly cause me to be wrong? Who else do you think would stand out?
Oh, look, there's a couple actually. Probably Josh Hand was outstanding against us in the mullet. Yeah, he's a quality player. Look, I don't know him personally, but he was exceptional. He was a great stoppage player. Look, Henley have got 2 or 3 quality sort of midfielders, but I think they're a fairly even sort of side. St Peter's College. Look, Nick Smith, I thought he's had an exceptional year. He's probably been along with Joe Hansen from Salisbury North. There's a couple of guys. Even Sacred Heart have got a couple of kids that they're just I reckon they're maybe a year off being their best, but they're there's some good run and carry players in that. So
right. Yeah, they say footy is a simple game, and quite simply, you win your next 5 games in a row, you go back to back. That must still be the ambition.
Yeah, look, Norwood did it in 1984. They won
thanks for that.
Yeah, they won from 5th position, and I'm sure Macca tells you about that all the time. But
mentions it every now and then. Yeah.
Hey, look, anything's possible, and I've won a flag from 5th before in the Hills League, and it's the right time of the year to be getting some players back, and I think the best thing for us at the moment is not to have a week off, just to continue playing, and let's not take our foot off the accelerator. We had a good win on the weekend, but we've just got to move on from it. Jeps Cross are going to be quite physical. They've got nothing to lose. We're expecting to play either Salisbury North at Salisbury North or Goodwood at Goodwood the following week, hopefully. And we're not going to get carried ahead too far ahead at the moment. So,
having said that, you did beat both of those teams at their grounds, if I remember correctly.
Correct. Yeah, we were really poor against Goodwood the second time. With just some discipline issues and some really bad goal kicking probably cost us the game, and we weren't smart enough when we played Goodwood the second time. First time we won quite easily. Yep. Look, Ross Trevor had some key personnel missing that have gone overseas, and I went to Ross Trevor College, so I know a few of their parents and that. But once again, they're probably unlucky. If they don't make it, they'll be very unlucky.
Yeah.
So.
With 9 wins, I think it is, or 9.5 wins to not make it would be unlucky. Look, mate, thank you very much for having us at the club tonight. It is looking outstanding. Obviously, nothing excites you more than finals football, but gee whiz, 2013 is going to be a special time for the club.
Oh, look, absolutely. There'll be 10 lights on each pole. The oval looks like Adelaide Oval. I think Les Burdett's put the cricket pitch in. The facilities will be second to none next year, and we've already had been approached by an SANFL club for a opportunity to use the ground on a couple of occasions. I think that'd be great for the local kids. We're trying to get our an under-17 side up and going again next year, and just to take the pressure off our recruiting and things like that. So we'll see what happens. So,
is there any reason why we're holding the Crows footy?
He threw it at me before, so
I thought that might have been. Okay, I'll just go to that. Right, thanks very much for having us, mate, and wish you all the best for the rest of the year.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Too sexy for my love, too sexy for my love, love's going to leave me.
Well, the trend these days for a lot of clubs is to get a very attractive barmaid behind the bar, but Gazer haven't gone down that road. They've gone with my good mate, my favourite barmaid. Gee, you've been working out, haven't you?
I have, mate. Just for this interview.
One of the great men of Gazer who does as much work as anyone, the great man, Danny Scully.
Thank you, Tommy.
All right, now people might recognise your name because are you not a former world darts champion?
This is correct. World meaning Murray Bridge, I think. Yeah.
Hey, that's some people's world. I was king of the world up there for a little while. Look, Danny, how have you found it challenging this year?
Very challenging behind the bar, yeah. It's hard to get numbers in the door when there's no football being played here, and we don't open till 4 p.m. on a Saturday. Used to be open all day, so hopefully next year back into it.
Now, over summer, would you say that I'd be in your top 10 most difficult customers?
Yes. It's shortened to the top 5, thanks.
No worries. Have you ever seen me run behind the bar and pour myself a beer?
Yes, several times.
Never happened.
Yeah,
never happened.
The shutters come down and anything's go then.
Oh, hey, look, I love it here. This is a great club, and I hope that you continue to work here and serve me and put up with my rubbish sometimes because I can be a bit crazy. But I'm looking forward to next year seeing Gazer play their footy back here, as I'm sure you are.
That'll be good, mate. It'll be good to have you back. Couple of another lock-ins, and we'll get on it again.
Should we talk about that Bucks night?
Yeah, that was a good one. All the Paynham boys.
Hey, Rooters, get on down to the Gazer Footy Club, see Danny and tell him he's handsome.
Thank you. Schooner in it.
Chris Radetti, A grade, position, everywhere.
Blake Rengner.
Doesn't play.
Did one A grade, play when I can, and yeah, play on ball or forward flank.
Jack Capel, playing the A grade, generally as a second ruckman coming off the bench.
Are we talking Gazer or Greenacres? It's hard to say. Best thing, I don't know. It's the douche music you get to listen to before the game every Saturday.
Is that care of Gavin Bouse by chance?
Gavin Bouse, Adrian Stevens, Jackson Filkey, Curry. There's too many.
Best thing about Gazer FC is this bloody oval. Have a look at it.
Best thing would have to be the friendships formed and all the blokes come and do work on my house for absolutely nothing, which is great. Thanks, boys.
Jack Capel, he's been trying to, after years and years of having that horse's mane hairdo, he's been trying to really perfect a good clean look, so he's come a long way, so that's what I think he does.
Oh, that'd be a few blokes that love the sanding talon, but one to have to take it is Adrian Stevens. He's darker than anyone we've got here.
Brett Hines always looks in the mirror trying to work out which is left or right.
Celebrity lookalikes, so it'd have to be our coach Nathan Granger, a dead ringer for either Where's Wally or Buddy Holly, any one of the two.
Oh, next one would have to be our famous Trevor Bouse from One Direction. Girls love him.
And last but not least, definitely Jackson Filkey is Justin Bieber.
Well, I was just about to interview the president of the Gazer Football Club. Welcome to the show, Bob Napier.
Welcome, Tom, and hello, yeah.
Clearly we are not just at the Gazer Footy Club, but at a community club. Could you just pan to the left, Lise, and that rum-pum-pa-da-da-rum-pum-pum is what is that, Bob? What is going on?
It's band practice night at the community hall, the brand new community hall.
Well, just while we're out here, Lise, if you can hear me over the black cat pissing on the white cat's head. Have a look at the bunkers there. We've got 12-seater bunkers. We've got the community centre over there. Slightly different positioning of the goals. I mean, there's a lot of features out here. We'll probably discuss some more inside. Let me just have a look now. The surface, we've talked about the fantasticness of the surface. I'm just going to go down, Bob, don't be alarmed, and do a very quick pitch report. The key goes in clean as a whistle. Bit of dirt on the old biscuit there, but never mind. It looks great. It's a great facility, mate. You must be very proud.
We are, yeah. We're very happy with the end result. Yeah, obviously it's been a challenge for us and that sort of thing, but we're starting to realise now, the worthwhile of it all.
Reaping the rewards. Are we all right to continue out here? We are? Good. All right, look, let's just go over a timeline for the people at home. I mean, obviously I'm well aware, but after you won the Div 1 Premiership just quietly last year, straight away, bang, it all started then, didn't it?
Thank you for reminding me of my honeymoon year. It was great. The great result, and ever since then it's been an absolute challenge. And not crying poor cousin, of course. I fully realise that this exercise was for a purpose, but not having home games for a whole season would put any club, under a lot of pressure, cash flow wise, obviously, and we've had to deal with that. We're not looking for sympathy or anything like that, and we've dealt with it. Yep. We've had some loyal members that have helped us out.
Sorry to interrupt, but I had Chris on the radio show on the week, and he said between $2,000 and $3,000 a week. Would that be accurate?
That would be quite accurate.
Yep. I mean, that must be hard to cover.
Well, you know, most people around the league would know that, you know, with your barbecue and canteen facilities and obviously the club, as well as a big thing now is your junior football on Sundays. And
absolutely.
A lot of our Sundays, having 8 or 9 junior sides, are bigger than our Saturdays. So that's had a massive impact upon us.
The thing is, juniors don't have their own cars, so the families do come out with the juniors, and the families want to eat and drink. That's where your canteen really makes its money, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yep. But, I mean, obviously, some of the slight characteristic changes. I mean, I've been living around this area for a long time. The goals are slightly different, in a slightly different position. Is the oval longer and wider now?
Okay, so for people who are familiar with Gazer,
someone just killed the band.
Yeah. Originally, the goals pretty much ran from north-south.
Yep.
And now they are pretty much east-west.
Okay.
So we've had to rotate the ground in order to make way for the new community centre.
Looking a treat over there.
Yes, which was probably the catalyst for the whole redevelopment of the reserve.
Yep. No worries. So when you do the Saturday night awards in 2013, will it be in the community centre or will it still be in the club rooms over there?
Most definitely be in our club.
Beautiful
yes.
work. No, the community centre is for hire though?
Yes, it is. Yes. And we're hoping that with the community centre on this side of the reserve that it'll have a flow-on effect for our club, because previously most people who used the facilities of this reserve were coming in off OG Road and weren't even aware of our club.
Yep.
And now they're on our side of the reserve, and we're hoping that you know, some of the people who frequent this area now will become familiar with us and perhaps become some of our supporters.
And it must have been a huge challenge, not just for the footy side, but we're talking obviously your cricket club suffered. I know I had to stop working here with the AFL Nines. You know, there's a lot of other things that go on. There was sprinters, there was a soccer club I saw floating around here at times. Hoping to get all those things back?
Yes, well, we're hoping next year to field 2 cricket sides in the one-day competition, and obviously the incentive there is the new pitch, which I believe is going to be, you know, one of the better pitches around Adelaide. As far as the soccer goes, well, we'd love to have them back. They have, as a result, re-established elsewhere. And we'll just have to see where that goes.
You're going to have the AFL Nines back though, aren't you, Bob? You've got to have the AFL Nines back.
You betcha, Tom.
Oh, that's great. Locked in. Thank you, AFL. Look, mate, thanks very much for being on the show. To just drive even past the colour of the surface, the look of the lights, this is a phenomenal club. Do you think just the actual aesthetically pleasing nature of the club will actually lure more players to Gazer?
Well, we're desperately hoping that will be the case. Like, we need some incentives. Obviously, the process has had an impact on us, and then there's going to be a time period to recover, and we hope that it's going to be a rapid process. Yeah.
No worries, mate. Well, destiny is still in your own hands on the football side of things, so we wish you the best of luck this week against Jeppies down at Greenacres Reserve. You can still get out and support the Gazer club, and then hopefully in the finals you can have it tilted back-to-back.
Thank you, Tom. I hope the struggle this year is going to be worthwhile.
No worries. Thanks for being on the show, mate.
Cheers.
God, the ones that we got were absolutely fantastic by the Gazer boys tonight. Right, let's get into it before we go. We've got our 3 best mark takers here. Guys, introduce yourselves.
Trevor Bowes, Chipmunk, Bennett Copping, Garth Burnristol.
Beautiful, boys. All right, what do you reckon of Garth's mark?
Shit.
Oh, not bad. Mark number 2.
Yeah!
And I think we know where this is going. Trev Bowes.
Flex the guns, flex the guns.
Congratulations, mate. You win a carton of sponsors prize. product. Thanks to West End, thanks to the Gazer boys for having us out tonight. You've got a fantastic new oval. Hopefully you can play on it soon. Thank you. I love you.
Welcome back, readers, and it's been another great night. Of course, here at one of my summer homes, Lisa, in the Gazer Footy Club, and I'm looking forward to getting back on this fantastic... Look at that surface out there, Lisa.
It's like carpet.
You didn't actually have to look, but yeah, thanks for looking. It is as close to a billiard table as you get, and the lights, they're just... It's almost a glistening effect, isn't it?
It is. Now, your West End stat, and I don't know if I've actually mentioned this before, guess who laid the pitch? Guess who curated the pitch?
I'm going to go with Les Burdett.
You were supposed to say, Lisa, I don't know. Why don't you tell me?
Oh, who is it then?
Les Burdett.
Oh, what's Les Burdett? Yes. There you go. It's the only curator I know or care about. And Kevin Mitchell Jr.
Yes, anyway. So it's bound to be a fantastic cricket pitch, but we don't care about cricket. Let's talk about footy because it's finals footy time.
It is, and we are, of course, the Grassroots Footy Show, but this is a community club, so good for and their cricket club has also suffered, so we wish them all the best in their coming back.
Yeah.
All right, Lisa, finals footy. Now, we should probably mention, obviously, Div 1 round 18 this week, so we'll hit a lot more about Div 1 and their finals when they happen, but Div 2, we'll start with. It's a university in Portland, and that one will be at Adelaide Uni Reserve. I think we'll just go with a tip on that one, shall we?
Sure. Portland looked all right. Port District, I should say, looked all right last week. Unfortunately, I probably thought their ineffectiveness on kick-ins is probably what let them down in the end. They probably could have won that had they not probably let so many go there. At Uni, I reckon I'll go with Uni.
Okay, Port Districts with an extra day's break. Will that matter? Surely not. You wouldn't think so.
No.
I tipped them to win the premiership, so if they're going to win the premiership, they'll win this week. Port Districts for mine. Port Districts. It's Flinders and Portland at Flinders Park. I'm just going to say Flinders Park. Sorry, my good friend Steamboat.
I too will go with Flinders Park, but good luck to both teams.
Yep, we'll move on. Seaton and Kilburn, that one is at Big House Car Park down at Seaton. They only played 7 home games this year. They're obviously a much stronger team at home. The Chick Boom Boom train has gone 13 in a row now, I believe. Is it 13 in a row, Lise?
Yes.
Sure is.
Yes.
Athelston really pushing him in a low-scoring contest on the weekend, but I think perhaps maybe... I just think the likes of your Flex Brackstone up forward, along with the Marky McCallum... Just too good, too many forwards. And then you throw in your Howes and your Parks rotating through with Chuck Molyneux. That is a awesome forward line. And Seaton's defence could be their Achilles heel.
Who I believe won their best and fairest. Charlie.
Oh, yes, he did.
Yes.
He did win their best and fairest.
No, look, very, very hard to go past Kilburn, even at Seaton.
Yep. Next one is Payneham, North Union and Mitcham, 2:15 Saturday at the Fortress of Falconry of Payneham. Payneham.
You going to play your A-grade this week?
Payneham. What was that? That was a little cheat.
No, I'm just saying. Look.
If you're suggesting Payneham didn't pick their best 21 players last week, Lisa, I'm unavailable for A grade. I've made a commitment to Marty and the C grade. Okay.
Given that, I will definitely pick Payneham North Union.
I'd be very surprised if Payneham didn't win. But having said that, Mitcham did knock Payneham off at Payneham in round 4, so that should have the boys up and about and ready. Division 4, Scott's a team that we really fancy at home, and they're at home against Salisbury West, so I'm going to take the big forwards of Thorpe and Cale to get the job done, kick enough goals against the fast-moving Salisbury West.
Yes, absolutely. Look, I don't know how much this... obviously, Dylan Kohler being a very influential player, if in fact he's not playing this week, they may lose something up forward, so I think I'll go with Scotch.
Yep. Golden Grove and Pulteney is the next one. That one is at Golden Grove. Golden Grove, I think, have been the much more consistent team through the year. Pulteney rely on the 3 or 4 stars that we've mentioned too many times, I think, to mention again.
Golden Grove, obviously, very hard oval to play on, especially when it's boggy, and it is boggy. And blokes like your Scudsies and your Dasher Ravlich, they play the oval. Shep, I don't know if he's actually played over the last couple of weeks, but play the oval very well. So
Scud's back this week, I believe.
Yes.
Suspension.
Yes. So in that case, I will go with Golden Grove.
Yep, we agree on that one. Adelaide, Lutheran and Hope Valley, you have to comment on that one. You obviously hope and be praying and tipping, I don't know if you'd want to tip your own team, but I think Adelaide Lutheran, having finished second and have been consistent all year, just dropping how many games? Just 2 games and 1 draw for the year.
Yep.
I'm not trying to be a smart horse. I'm just tipping Adelaide Lutheran because I think they'll play in the grand final.
Well, and I'll just comment in, they've had the wood over us all year. First time by about 4 goals, and then last week by the solitary, I think 6 or 7 points or something like that. So I wouldn't blame anyone for picking Lutheran, but obviously we're going to change that this time out.
Of course you will. Glenunga and Kenilworth had an audition last week. Kenilworth, all they need to do is kick straighter, and this has nothing to do with my man crush on Matt Damon, Shane Baldock, but I'm taking Kenilworth. I think the ground dimensions of the Webb Oval at Glenunga aren't incredibly dissimilar to Kenilworth. Obviously Kenilworth's the biggest ground, but Glenunga's not a small ground, so I'll take Kenilworth.
Yeah, I don't know. Once again, Glenunga, it's we're expecting storms and thunder and whatnot again tomorrow. So they obviously didn't like the conditions out there last week, and who's to say that they're going to like them out there this week? I don't know. I might tip Glenunga, I reckon.
Okay, we'll agree to disagree. It's the Tossers and the Mawson boys, Trinity and Mawson Lakes at Trinity. Speaking to President Maurice Emery last night, they're trying to prevent Mawson from bringing alcohol into the ground because it's on school property.
No, that's actually been the case all year out at Trinity. So, and a lot of the clubs have been very good in complying with not bringing alcohol onto the school grounds, and it is actually policy as well. So, so if you happen to be going out to Trinity on the weekend, leave the grog at home.
Get pissed on the drive.
And
I'm joking.
Do that too.
Drink responsibly.
That's
with
right,
West End, of course.
That's right.
That was a bit of comedy there.
Yeah, look, this one, hard to say. Heart says Mawson Lakes, but Head says Trinity have just had a fantastic second half of the year again, and you know what, I think I might have to go with Trinity at home.
I tell you what, I mean, I rate the great Jeff Riddle, but I reckon Trinity got a little ace up their sleeve in the great Kim Hillard, one of the best football analysts. He's had a couple of looks at Mawson this year. He is a brilliant football mind, and perhaps that could be just the edge they need to just get the job done against Mawson.
Absolutely. At the Aquatic Centre, also in the elimination final, is Blackfriars Old Scholars versus Lockleys. Now, I did say that Lockleys was my dark horse to make the finals this year, and obviously they've done that. And look, they've probably got a real chance. Blackfriars have had a couple of fairly ordinary weeks.
Yep. They squeezed in. Look, speaking to all the coaches on WOW throughout the year, Lockleys were highly rated by everyone. So just based on the coaches know, otherwise they wouldn't be coaches.
That's right.
I'm going to tip Lockleys.
I will keep going. I've stuck with them all year, and I will tip Lockleys.
And having seen what Kilburn did in we love you, Ando.
Yes, we do.
Emotionally, not physically, but Lockleys could do a bit of a Kilburn. Div 16 could always. They've only got to win 4 games in a row when it starts this week. Let's see how they go.
Absolutely. And finally in Div 7, qualifying final, Tea Tree Gully versus Henley. I think this might be at Everton, but don't quote me on that one because I haven't got my paperwork with me. Very even all year. Henley obviously a slower start to the year and have come good. Div 1 obviously playing round 18, so as I said, no creative player placement there. I reckon Tea Tree Gully might be the go here.
Yeah, Tea Tree Gully, again, they've had a lot of senior players commit to playing in this grade all year. Yeah, Benny Noskis and your Mounts and so forth. Mount, of course, super player. He's my tip for the medal, yeah. These guys are finals hardened veterans, and I believe they'll be too good for Henley, although Henley have got an ace up their sleeve in Sam Fairclough.
I did hear that somewhere. Yeah, well, there you go. And finally, the elimination final, Anglevale versus North Pines. Both clubs just fought tightly all year. Both spots well deserved. I guess it will probably come down to the more consistent player on the day, just like any game, I guess. In saying that, it's not exactly a big drive for the Pines. It's almost like a derby. It's probably their closest home game. Given that, though, depending on whether it's at Anglevale or at Williston, I think I might go with Anglevale on that one.
You can guarantee one thing about this game, it won't be bruise-free football.
No.
So there'll be some contests in this one, and yeah, I'm going to go with Anglevale, the home team, having not seen either team actually play, except for a little bit of highlights throughout the year. It's very hard to know, 4th versus 5th. I guess whoever wants it the worst will win it. Anglevale, I'll agree with you on that one.
Yep.
Now, Lise, there's obviously some C-grade finals. Without talking about what I do, my first final in 13 years as a player, I can't tell you how excited I am about that, just to have an opportunity, just while we all play football. The C-grade finals are generally on Sunday. If you're not sure where and when your C-grade finals are being played, perhaps you could check out That website.
We haven't done that for a while. We'll get off, won't we?
SAAFL.
Grassroots at saafl.asn.au. Otherwise, check the website, which is saafl.asn.
And of course, we get our results from the Sunday Mail and the newspaper.
This week.
But you could check the paper as well. They're generally in the paper. Now, this was, of course, from Gazer. Now, we're going to find it challenging during finals, perhaps, to get out to clubs. But we've got a couple of very special Grassroots episodes coming up, Lise. Tell the people where's next week?
Next week is Div 3 to Div 7 medal night out at Adelaide Airport Stadium in the function room there. In the next couple of days, I reckon they'll be releasing the top vote getters. So get on down there, support your mates. It's going to be a great night, mainly because we're going to be there.
Who's hosting the night, Lisa?
I reckon that would be your good self, Tom Javor.
Good decision, SAAFL. The night needs some laughter and some merriment and some joy and some action and some passion and some stuff. I'll stay sober for it. But it should be a great night. So make sure you come and say good day to the Grassroots crew. Get out and support your mates. Winning a medal, last medal I won was in Scouts. So yeah, it'd be great for anyone. So we won't. We're going to do some medal predictions, all sorts of stuff next week, aren't we?
Absolutely.
You got some footage to go out with tonight, Lise?
Yeah, sure. Just before we leave you tonight, of course, as we do like to get a club song whenever we go out to a ground where the club actually wins. On this occasion, it did happen to be Prince Alfred Old Collegians, as I said, with that fantastic win over Port District on the weekend, which cost them top spot, mind you, as well. So we now bid you goodbye with the Prince Alfred Old Collegians club song.
Hey mate, did you hear about that rumour about beer karma?
Beer karma?
You drink one of these and a Victorian cops one.
Oh, really?
They did claim to invent the footy.